Alright. Oh, goodness. If anybody's out there, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're joining back to stream, and we are continuing to design our own wing for the 350Z. A lot have changed from the last stream. I use a program that was suggested. What is it called again? Cloud Compare. Cloud Compare, it took the cloud point files and we're able to compare the two of them, and I was able to create a single mesh with the bottom and top hatch. I don't really like how it did all these bulbous little parts to gap fill, but that's what's happened when there's no scan data. It kind of interpolated stuff. So, see, it doesn't look like a mesh. It's just all cloud points, and we're able to. This took a while. This took a while. Just trying to learn, trying to figure it out. There's not many tutorials out there. Most of them's over like 5-9 years. So this was a pain in the butt, but no pun intended. It allowed me to sort of auto pick up the planes and everything, and I was able to locate the part at origin point. So when I imported into Fusion, it was origin. The two panels, we were able to put it into one and just like gap fill and stuff. So the last stream, I think it was Steven pointed this out, and definitely it was a tangent, but I believe it helped, you know? And I say that's what we got with this one part here. Although I'm trying to see if I want to restart my base plate. I'm trying to figure out the orientation of the base plate. Because I'm looking at Bolton through and through, and I like to kind of have everything parallel to each other. I need to edit out this notch. When I actually printed it out and looked at it, there was really no reason to have that notch. So if we make this collinear, I want it the other way around. Make this collinear to that, and then we just need to remove these. And there we go. If you go to finish, here we go. There is a little corner right there. I think leave it, just don't pull it out that much. There we go. And that would still give us a clearance, and it won't interact with it raising up. Alright, I guess we could pull that down some also. Just lock this, lock this. Can we make this a smaller, shorter? Alright, make that a little shorter too. I need to get better with splines, is what I need to do. There you go. That's a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. So, I do need to figure out how I want to interact this top plate. I guess I need to just start skinning also. So I need to create a form. And let's snap it to the top. Let's bring it out this far. I just don't know if I want to, how I want to build this top plate. Organically, square, we want to save on material. Let's just make a big form so it's always there and I could change if I want to. Okay. And let's just raise everything up above. Okay. Subdivide it a little bit. And then let's just pull it to the face. That's very close. But you see here, this is kind of high because the trunk flips up. So let's add, okay, let's add a point into here. Okay. And then let's add one over here. Because see here, it kind of dipped down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see if we could pull these out. Because remember, these meshes, they aren't perfect. So you technically they're not, they may not be giving you the best curves. Oh, that looks kind of good. We have a little mix. A little too much gray here, so let's go ahead and add an edge here. Let's move this back out because it kind of pulled it. And there we go, pull it back down. Every time I change something, man, it just affects all the other points. So look at that. I think that's really good. And that was really easy too. I like how it's kind of mixed and it's cheated, so you can tell that it's interacting with the surface a little better. Now we need to change the geometry of the display mode. And we want to make sure it's smooth. So this is box mode. This really looks nice and smooth. See here's a little peak. See all this kind of integrated. We could fudge this a little bit. So here we could do that, and then we could just pull it down. This was one snap. Oh, we had control, right? Not supposed to snap, right? Damn it. Yeah, it's trying to snap in millimeters there, so let's just drag it down like this. Yeah. So that high point went away. Another high point here. Another one right here. So this is what we gotta do to the model to get the surface of the trunk just right. But you don't want to do it too much and you lose details. Yeah, still high. So see, I'm losing details now here, so I gotta pull this up. There we go. Because that kind of pushed it down. There we go. So we regained back some detail by doing that. There's another high point right here. Over here too. A little bit here. I mean, I'm getting really in the weeds here. But I would love to have this match the surface of the trunk lid so well that no grit or grime or dirt is gonna go underneath it. The cool thing about CAD is that I could take my shape after and actually probably go online and get a custom cut 3M tape to surround the edges and seal out dirt and water and stuff like that. So that's always, ooh, this went way low. Yeah, see? So they definitely play off each other. And I'm in box mode, so it's very, what you say? It's very pronounced, I guess, would be the right way to say it. Right, so you're just shaping the skin to the trunk lid. Alright, so if you go okay, and then we switch modes back to smooth, we remove the scan. Look at that. Oh, look at that. So we have the little trunklet kick up. We have it come down. It looks like a little low point right here. Right here. That's a little low point right there. It's a message. So turn that back on. And we go modify. We just want to raise this up just a little bit. Hit OK. But I think we can start designing our top plate. Like I say, I'm kind of little hesitant with, I don't know, the flatness of where I chose the bottom plate at. But no, I think I'm happy. Actually, all this, I don't see much gray. Let's just raise this up a little bit. Yeah, at least like that. I'm starting to get in the weeds, guys. I'm starting to get in the weeds. You have to pull me out of the weeds. I'm getting a little too much into the weeds. It's too much. We want just a nice, you know, a nice little. Nice little in between. You could take hours. You could spend hours just working on this. The bottom one was way intricate. I'll show you that in a second. That I actually just sat in between calls and meetings and stuff like that and just went to town on that one. Because that one had a huge grid. Because the bottom was so intricate, that one took forever. This flat panel should be a lot more forgiving. Right? Right, guys? Right, guys? I think I'm going to add edge here because this actually is a little more aggressive. So yeah, you can see this little point here. Now kind of raise up this point here. So we got to pull this one back down. This corner. Here. Raise that up. Pull it back down. So it's a balancing act every time. Because you see everything's kind of linked and interact with each other. I mean, here's kind of a big area too. So let's go ahead and give this guy a nice edge too. And I don't know. I'm gonna mill it on aluminum, CNC it, and I could use the foam tape to kind of gap fill. But man, I mean, just a little extra time spent here should yield good results, right? Once again, I'd just like to thank everyone for joining in. I know sometimes it can kind of be boring, but it's kind of interesting too, man. We designing our own parts. That's kind of sick, right? So this is our skin basically that we're going to use, and here's our bottom plate. Let's go and finish this form. So if I hide this new form, you would see here's the form I created from the first part. So we could go back, put the trunk lid on, let's hide, let's go here, edit. Alright, so we edit that. I think we could suppress that. Where's the thicken? There was the thicken. But here's the form of the underneath. And for the people that miss Sunday, I'm using this rigid part and this rigid part to help create our bottom bracket. Alright, let's go back. So our form here, how about scan here? So from these two things, we need to pick out our relation. What the plan is to go ahead and let's create a new sketch. We're going to bolt from the bottom up, top, bottom, whatever, but we're using the bottom geometry to help us create, project onto the shape. There we go. Okay. Now let's hide that underplate. Right. So now we see in the underneath, and we have this circle here. So I want to pretty much grab center point of that circle. Did it snap? I don't want to snap. No, it's in the right plane. So that's the center point there. Now from the center point, I've got to figure out my hardware. What hardware I want to use? Do I want to use M6 or thicker? I know 10mm is M6. What is 12mm bolts? RM what? M12. So that's 12mm diameter and 12 bolt hole size. Millimeter socket bolt size. So this is M8. Okay. So 8mm. So we want to give 9mm to give it a little wiggle room. Yo, why not let me select the middle? There we go. Alright, so 9mm. And then we have our square right here. So if we go index the square, and then we draw a next through and through. Technically, that is the middle. We go in and throw another 9mm circle in there. Let's go ahead and trim out. Yo, it's freaking snapped to the base. I hate that it snapped to the base. Let's right click this guy, make him unselectable so we can't even click on him. Goodness. Let's go back to the top. Let's draw our odd shape. Actually, not odd shape. Let's just do a rectangle by 3 points. Okay. And we draw a line through it. Draw a line through it. And make sure it's on the sketch. No, it snapped again. Why did it snap to the plate? It's supposed to be unselectable. I'm supposed to be on a sketch. Right click. Select unselectable. That's so annoying. Fuck, it's on there again. Dang it, anybody watching know how to make that easily selectable, unselectable? That's kind of annoying that it's clipping on there. I really don't want to. I wanted to be on the damn sketch. But I need to see it. That's so dumb. Okay, because kind of see the indentation there, so let's just do it this way, frig. Yo, what the hell? Y'all just pissing me off right now. Get rid of the form. Oh, I wonder if it was selecting the form. That's probably what was happening. Oh, I'm still on the fucking thing. It shouldn't be this damn high, guys. What the f... I'm doing all the hard things, but this is being a pain in the ass. Okay. Wow, that was on the other form. Please, make this make sense. Let's just do it like this. Let's just do it like this, and then we will define it. Okay. Now we just move the whole freaking whole thing over. It won't let me move it over? I guess just select all the lines. There we go. Put that there. Put that there. And shit. It's totally unnecessary to go through this stem. Now, have a line there. What are you thinking? Get our triangle, center point, 9 millimeters. Okay. Then we technically, it's off by a degree, right? So it's off by a degree. So you're supposed to be able to go ahead, grab this point here. Shit, I kind of need that for down here. From center down. Okay. And then we need to make it collinear or parallel. So make this parallel to this. There we go. Now here, or around here, we could do our next bolt hole. I'll make it in line. It'd be nice if this had a vertical reference. So this, I guess this is kind of one. So there's it there, right? So let's make this line parallel to this line. There we go. And then we do a 9 millimeter. All right. Looking for the little triangle, the little square. There we go. So that, see that little symbol? That tell me that's a 90 degree. And then we do our 9 millimeter here. So now this is why that this was so important and such a pain in the butt. We are going to use this to show our bolt holes through the deck lid into the top. So this is our locators. So now our top plate is going to be built off of this. We could put the pylon, the upright, right in between. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, chat? What do you think, chat? That is going to give us a great start. So we have our underplate that we have our holes in. That's going through some reinforced sections of the trunk. So if let's take this and change those opacity 50%. So now you can see the plate going through a flat section, going through this hard circle and then this square, like Like say it's this geometry. And this geometry here should be stiff as hell because it's bent off the flat sheet metal, and we know stamped metal it increases strength. And these two odd shapes is going to definitely give us a lot of strength. Now we need to design our pylon. Our not pylon, sorry, our top plate. Because we have our form. Now we need to play with it and see how we want this to look. So let's go ahead and create the component for the top plate. Okay. So now in top plate, let's copy our let's go ahead, go back here, and let me create the holes. How I've located it. So from here, we're going to split. We're going to split using the 3 locator thingies. Okay. Move that. Move that. Move this. Ew! Remove the wrong thing. There we go. So now I remove the bolts. We have our top plate with our bolts, and we're going to bolt through. But now we need to put them back. Actually, let's copy them into the current model. No, we'll just leave it unsuckable. So let's go back to top plate. Alright, back to our form. So we have our form. This is what we're going to use, that we've created a skin, a copy of the top skin of the hatch, which is awesome. That's kind of cool. I've never done this kind of stuff before, and that is really sick. Is that a flat part? That's a bump there? I don't want that bump in my model. So let's remove this. We gotta go back to the other one. So edit our form. I don't see that bump. Let's see, inspect zebra analysis. I don't know why the view is so jacked up. Come on. Oh, it's 2 bodies selected. That's why. I just want to select this body. Okay. That shit's still not helping. Zebra is supposed to give you a visual representation. And be able to help me look for high spots. But that's definitely not helping out. Hide that. Everything's hid. Why are you... That is really weird. Frick, man. don't see the bump here. That's just in the scan. Yeah, see that there? That's one of those locating dots. Okay. So we work in here. We have our underbody. We have our posts. We need to decide now what shape we want to create the top plate. We need to save. But let's go ahead and let's thicken this a little. Ooh. Whoa, don't crash. Thank goodness it's just save, okay. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Can I not thicken this outside of the mesh? I have to, nope, I cannot. So, let's delete this. Let's go back here. Let's edit. And then in this menu, choose the whole body. Thicken by -5, which is going to pull it up. Sharp -5, yes. So there we go. We actually have a body that we could print. Before we were just dealing with like a flat sheet or whatever, but now it's an actual body. So if you look at this thing, it has contour, and that contour should match the trunk lid. Because we took our time and we designed it to match our trunk lid. That is sick. Now we need to actually define the shape of the top brace. So we have our bottom brace as contoured, and we have our top brace as contoured. What shape, guys? Huh? I don't know. What shape to run this? I did take some pictures for some inspiration a long time ago. Can I find it? I think I have an idea. Give me an idea there. So we don't want to, we want to be able to edit this if we want. So let's move this and copy this. Cancel. We can select, oh, top plate. Is it selected? Click away. Change to a top plate. Bro. Oh, we have to finish the form. Yeah. Here's our trunk lid. Look at that curve, man. Kick out to the spoiler and everything. That's so sick. Okay. Now we're on top plate. What to call this? What to call this? Form. Top plate form. want to copy it, and now turn it into that other component down here. This is just a little housekeeping. Okay. Now, let's just take off the hatch, because we don't need the hatch anymore. I do need a flat plane, though, to create this sketch. Let's just create our plane off of this sketch. Do we want it? How thick do we want? How thick? THIC, sir. How thick do we want this? That's 50, 60, that's 10 millimeters. Sometimes you just gotta visualize it IRL. 20 millimeters. That's a huge rise. That is a huge rise. Because it slopes down and shit like that. Let's do... So 50, 60, 70. Okay, yeah, let's just do that. Now from here, fix our orientation, we create a sketch. And I really don't want to hit that lip yet, so we probably stay away from the little flick, the natural flick of the hatch. Let's start with a weird shape. So from here, come out here, here, and then add back there. Oh my goodness, it snapped to the thing again. I don't want it to snap. I want you to be on the sketch line. I need to look up why, when you're modeling, I want to be on the sketch, not on the form. It's so frustrating. I really don't understand why it does that. But let me know what you guys think. Post something in the comments. Or if you want, if you have any questions of anything otherwise, not exactly this project, shoot it, let me know. Let's see, let's do a quick Google. Okay, so control, hold on control, and that would leave it on the sketch line. Snap back to there. Yay, it's on the sketch plane. So now, let us develop our part, right? Let's go and drag this down a little bit. Like I said, I'm trying to stay away from this little kick up, this little rise up. I'll be a little extra mill and I don't want to do. Bring this out as much as we can. Really should have made the form go that way a whole lot more. Alright, let's try and just throw some little organic curves in there. That's too small. Yeah, kind of like that. So that gives us this big top plate to bolt our pylon to. We just gotta shape it and give it a bolt surface. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now if we just draw a box around, and then we just select the outside. Look at this stuff. Our form, our trunklet form, just got shaped out. That's stinking easy. That's stinking easy. So that's the top plate look. Come on, tell me that's not cool. Now, put the, look at that. Look at that, that's how the top plate will look on there. Should we exaggerate this a little more? Or bring this down here? I think we should bring this down here. Tighten this in. So if we go and we edit our sketch, we could simply drag this. No, I want you, Control Z, Control Z. Let's lock this radius. So now when we, nope, no more locking. We drag this guy, yeah. But I want this line to be parallel to this line. Yeah. And then here, let's lock this corner and drag this guy in. Nope. Okay. Finish geometry. There we go. What do you think? Come on, guys. What do you think? For a top pylon. And like I said, these pillars, these are going to be the bolt holes that's going through. Well, pylon plate. Should we straighten this up? Oh, decisions. Come on. Let me know what you think. Put it in the chat. Let's unlock this now. But let's lock this. No, I don't lock that either. Can you finish? Okay, look at that. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. Right? It is a little to the left. There we go. Little Dorito. I need to close this corner. This is not collinear. Says it's collinear, but doesn't look so. Yep, see, it's not. What the hell happened here? Why are you doing this? let's trim that. Wow, it took the whole thing out, didn't it? That broke the shape. Oh, because this was locked? Let's kind of make this a little tighter. Yeah. Yeah. A little Dorito plate. Alright, we're obsessing too much about this. Let's work on the vertical part. Okay. Right? Alright, that's what we want, right? Okay. Let's go back to our sketch. And maybe our construction plane. So we need to create an upright surface that we could design the pylon to bite into and screw into. So let's remove the sketch. Let's pull up the plane. Then let me do a perpendicular plane. Actually, no. Let's do a plane. By the midpoint. So we construct the plane from the midpoint here. I need to resize it. Oh, wow. No. That was not what I want. I hate that the origin is all the way down there for some reason. Origin here. Same, yeah. Alright, let's do this. So first we'll bring this up because we know this is very close to the model. plane flat. Now we could do a perpendicular to this guy, and we should extend it and see it better here. There we go. Much better. God, it's like a freaking degree off. Right? And that's what our pylon will be based off. Alright, so if we I need to measure this. What's this? 120 millimeters. Oh, that's a small base, guys. It's only really. I need to be taller. It's a small base. The problem though is I don't have a bolt point out there. All that's just superficial base plate. Or do I leave it and pull it back towards the bumper crease and give that bumper crease to help it out? I can unlock this. What you guys think? I think I need to, because if I bring this out, I can actually bring out this point here. And that would give us a whole lot more plate. I mean, that looks big, that looks nice, that looks better. Yeah, I think if I bring that the bottom plate out, let me see if I could edit that. So on the plate here, right, and sketch for the underplate. Here we go. Edit. Let's lock that guy. Come on. Stretch it out. Okay, let's delete that and that. Okay, let's just delete that. Let's do a little. Do that. Now we shape it. Right, and we make this and this collinear to this. Oh, nope, it doesn't like that. That parallel to, nope. So, nope. Let's do this parallel to this. Oh, no, it has, okay. Okay, this, we need to clean this up. It's not liking that. Oh, that's locked, that's why. Okay, that's why I couldn't edit that. Forgot that. I forgot that. Beautiful. So we finished that. Haha! Look at that. Now we got a bigger plate there, and now I can push this forward. So now we edit this one with the holes. And I just bring, wow! Let's just remove that. Remove this guy. Let's put him there. So now that moved that. And then this top plate. See, we're using a whole lot more material, but it should be stronger. Should be stronger, guys. I don't know. Let's lock this. No, I'm locking all that. Unlock. This we lock. Okay. Now escape. Click here. Oh, click here. There you go. Let's unlock this. And then drag this point out. Damn it, no. Unlock, unlock. I'm definitely not constraining any of these points. Oof. I know people would not like that. Public hatters. Let's just finish this, see if I'm in my form. Yeah, I'm in my form. I have a bigger point. So I have a bigger base plate. I feel this is excessive down here now. Since we separated the bolt positions. I wanted to move that, so let's lock on top here. And now let's drag this up. Nope. Not locked it to you guys again. Nope, that's locked. So let's drag this up. I'm like, what I missed? Dude, you miss a lot. You miss all the form, the fun-loving form, sketching and everything, and editing. I'm at the top plate right now. You went ahead. So this is what I believe the top plate will be like. Let's close this sketch. There we go. So we have a bottom plate. I don't know if you saw the reel I put out. I put out a reel where I kind of placed this in the spot. And like the last time we were talking, we want to use this geometry. We got the hard edge of this square and this circle for rigidity. And then we have our just flat underpan here. The guy that was in the last stream, let me save. Steven, he told us to do the cloud compare. So that went down like a crazy tangent. I went into cloud compare, loaded the two clouds, aligned it like 50 different times, over and over. It was a big learning curve. Like I probably spent almost 4-6 hours just dicking with this, trying to learn it, figure it out. And in cloud compare, I was able to put the top mesh, the top cloud, and the bottom cloud together, line it up, and then I created a mesh and give it axes and everything like that, and imported it into Fusion. And I went through the nitty-gritty and started creating a bunch of forms and stuff like that. But I think this will be the top and bottom plates. I think I'm happy with that plate. Now I just need to create the upright, which is like a 20mm upright. Need to project the edges. Remove the scan. Custodian, man, how's that doing, dude? Just trying to build us a wing. Thanks for joining the stream. That projection didn't work good. I need to. Okay, let's remove that. And I need to figure out. Do I do a form floating in air and carve it up, or do I do a vertical body and intersect? Yeah, man, it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be strong. It's gonna be very strong. I played around with the top shape for a while. I was trying to figure out something that's kind of pleasing. On the bottom, it's just strictly functional, but the top I've tried to make it as aesthetic as possible. Now I need to figure out. So here, let's project that, project this. Can I just cancel? And let me project the entire body top plate form, yes. So project No. Right. That there. P. Project body. There we go. Hit OK. There we go. There we go. So now unselect that. And select this. We have our side. We have our projected geometry. Now let's just throw a shape out there. Do I want to do another form on the top? I didn't go chassis mounted. I want to retain the hatch. I've thought about going chassis mounted, but I am still very green, I would say. I did get promoted my first track event. But so although it's a full-size 71 wing, it's a good blade. I didn't want to go chassis mounted yet. I think my next crazy rendition would be what I was thinking. You know those quick release splitter brackets? I will do a vertical reinforced mount because this is when the car is going to be stripped. I'll do a vertical mount from the trunk floor and put in the hooks. And then from the hatch, I'll do the quick release. So when I slam the trunk closed, it'll lock into those vertical things and become one unit. And then when I want to open the hatch, I could just pull the quick release. At least that's what I'm envisioning. Let's leave that sketch there. Man, let's throw another form. And see if I could join. Let's remove these bolt holes. My brain's hurting right now. I'll try to figure out how to do the top geometry. I mean, I could probably do a form and pull it down, right? No, let's not do a flat form. Let's hide that vertical sketch. I don't need that yet. Let's do a box form. Would a box form work? No. That's a little too much right now. Going to look into the backstory of this car later. Yeah, I think I've done like 3 events. It's a whole new not a new passion, but a whole new avenue. I sold my car I had for like 10 years. Sorry, a car I built my channel off. So I've kind of like alienated a lot of my viewers by getting rid of that car. A lot of them was very unhappy that I did. But at the same time, I'm happy that I was able to get out there and start doing track stuff because that's something I always wanted to do. Show this top plate. The copy. Why didn't it show the copy? Fudge. That snap is so bad. So bad. Can we snap this? It would be nice if we could just re-subdivide. And just snap the form onto that existing body. Oh wait, I can, yeah, press and pull. No, I gotta do it off. Hold on 1 sec. I'm not sure if this is the right way to do this. Okay, drift. I need to figure out, do I just do a hard geometry and then just pull it and do fillets? Or do I try to just create another form? I don't know if create another form is what I want to do. Okay, okay. Alright, 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 alright. I got my game plan. I got my game plan. I have my game plan. I have my game plan. I figured it out. So. Oh no? Not anymore? Is this any better? One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Okay. Probably have to just get it's closer. I don't know if it's too far away. I'm so bad with names. Goodness. Anna. Boalik Sonic. Anna. Yeah, just roast that. I'll call you Sonic. If I hear it, I'll freaking be able to do it. So, okay, so, alright, so I need to create, so we have the form, we have the thickened form that's shaped as the 350Z's upper hatch. Now I need to give it geometry so I could bolt a pylon. Well, the wifey came into the room, so I did mute for a second. Okay. So this, I need to get out of the form. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to extrude, well, let's hide the bottom plate. Extrude this down and create a whole new body. Alright. And then I'm going to use split this by that. Okay. Move this underside. We need the top side to work on. Right, and then this. So now we have our top part we need to model for pylons. Let me edit this sketch. So I need to throw some constraints. I need to put some geometry on this here. We got. This is the hardest part working with models, is getting your geometry properly. Okay, so let's throw a square in here. Actually, let's change this to a construction. Alright, let's remove this plane because it's bothering me. Okay, and let's remove this sketch. We don't need that sketch anymore. Okay, we now have to work with our uprights. Yeah. 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 I know what to do. this point, we're at 26 mils, 5 mil thick form, 20, 20, 20. Is that enough? I think that should be enough. 20? No. Let's do 25. Alright, so we have that. And I want a depression in the middle, so let's find the middle point. Right here. $15, $30. And then 15. I'm creating a notch for the pylon to kind of ride in, an indexer. It's my first. It is the first time, well, not the first time. I've done some scan work in the past. So we have the bottom of the hatch and the top of the hatch, and I've combined them, and I have my underplate. Where's my underplate? I have my underplate designed, and the underplate designed to utilize some geometry on the other panel that's creased to give it strength. You eyeball and go by a specific measurement. What you see me just now, I'm eyeballing. I don't have a plan. I will adjust it. That's the nice thing about it, is that I could adjust as I go. I'm using my ruler for like a real world kind of scenario, but actually it's a good thing you stopped me, because this sketch is vertical. I think I need to throw in the vertical part and then worry about the base after. Yes. Oi, oi, oi. Thank you for breaking that momentum. It was needed. Let's see, Wang. Call this component Wang. And then I need to drop that other mesh. Okay, now I've got to loosely line this up. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. It's really cool. The 3D scanning has definitely changed it a lot for me and what I could do. Like before, I used to have to take a protractor and a pencil and all that kind of stuff. And it used to be really, really hard to figure things out. Try to get this close. Nice, that's better. That's better. So I'm taking some scans. I have an existing wing, and I'm trying to place it in the same position and stuff, as you can tell here. And I'm using that because this wing doesn't really the standoffs really suck, and they actually deform your hatch. So I'm trying to fix it. So that's close. So hit OK. Yeah, so printing, I'll print in regular PLA. PLA is cheap, and I'll test that stuff out. But when I'm ready, the plates, the top plate, the bottom plate will be CNC aluminum mill. The upright that I have to design still, that will be just like 5mm or 6mm thick aluminum stock that I'll send over to Sand and they'll just laser cut it. That is the swan neck. So it's going to be a swan neck also. And this is the swan neck parts that I have to weld onto my my wing. I have a raw blade, and I need to do design the rear also, the rear the end plates and all that stuff. Okay, so I need to go here, direct edit, mesh, direct edit, and then I need to create a plane of 3 points. Hit OK. Now I need to align this I hit the wrong axis, damn it. Align it to this. Hit OK. So now these things should be level. I need to take this here, give it a perpendicular plane, capture position, hit OK. And now I could take this and align it to here. Damn it, you're in the way. Okay, let me move just a little bit. So here, move other way. Okay. Oh man, that did not. I wanted to move with the snap points I made. I guess not. Okay, I could do like that. Nice. So here, align to there. I mean, I guess it's already there because let's do that first. So here, perpendicular, kind of put it in the middle where the badge is, behind this. Hit OK. Yeah, dude, swan neck, man. Nobody really does a proper swan neck for 350Z. They have some of more of a car showy swan neck. Nice. So that actually, I'll get it dead. Now I need to drop it down, and I want to actually do a functional race swan neck. Here. I'm just trying to, that's the next struggle with scans is orienting it. Alright, so now that's XY oriented. I can raise it up to better align with this guy. Okay, let's go send forward a little bit. Too much. Whoa, no rotation. except I need to rotate it this way. There we go. That's super close, man. Like, so I'm just using it as a reference. I don't need to be super close to this one. Yeah, they don't. They say they have some stylized ones for car show people and stuff like that, but in terms of actual track stuff with CFD data and stuff, not really. Okay, this needs to rotate. Let's do 1 degree. Alright, and let's move it up. Up by 5 millimeters. It's close. It's close. 8 millimeters. It's close. It's getting close. Oh yeah, what did you end up getting? Okay, I think height's good. Now I just need to rotate the angle, and then I will be happy about that. Alright, so we need 1 degree. Let's go 2 degrees. Beautiful. That's it right there. That's a beautiful intersection. So for today, we went ahead and we've got our wedge for our top plate. Remove that. Here's our surface that's contoured for the top of the 350Z's hatch. We have our bottom plate that we extended and snaps into the geometry. And then we have our bolt holes. That's going to go into the top plate, through the bottom plate, and bolt through the hatch. Yeah, I believe the NRG is kind of, I don't think there's any actual CFD data or anything like that track-wise. I think it's more of just a superficial wing just for looks. I don't even know if you could adjust the angle of attack on that. I am hoping this is going to be 100% functional and actually create some downforce. With a wing tube, you don't want to have more than 7 degrees of angle because it'll actually create a negative drag. So it's a lot to consider, and I'm trying to just make it strong. So it won't deform the hatch, spread the load, push the hatch down, push the body down nicely. But I think the next points will be creating my swan neck. So from here, what was that side plane? There's a side plane. Alright, yeah. guess I could just go back into that sketch. It's not showing the wing though. I'll have to copy the wing into this diagram. So copy into here, create a copy. Okay. Yeah, now it's in that component, so I can see it. So then if I edit here, oh, it still doesn't show it. It shows the bottom one. I wonder if I need to just copy to the main component, if that's why. Yeah, I was able to sit down, and this is what I'm learning new, is form. I'll show you real quick. But creating forms and editing forms. I have to find a timeline on the plate. Okay, so you're like here. Let me hide some stuff. Hide that. Hide the wing. So like, see here. So here's the form for the top hatch. I had to sit down and I created this panel. And in this panel, I created a section, and each intersection, each point, I dragged it up and down to lay flat on the actual scan so I could follow the actual body properly. Let's get out of this view now. Okay. So this, I'll need to copy it to the main thing. So hopefully it would show up in the sketch. I could use as a reference. Hide that one there. Edit the sketch. Bro, it's still not doing it, but it's showing this bottom one. That's bogus. It's right here. I need to have that reference while I'm sketching. I'll have to play with that. Hey, I'm very surprised with the contouring. The contouring at the bottom plate, that was a nightmare. It was so many lines. Why can I not? I need to create a whole new sketch because it probably didn't exist when that sketch existed. So we go back to the plane, grab this. To go back into this design, grab this, sketch. Oh, there you go. I can see it now. That's what I need. Don't really need to see this bottom here. I'm just going to build off of this. The bottom form, man, that took some hours. Like, in between projects and in between work and stuff, I was just picking it like a scab. Just pull in here, pull in there. Because as you pull a few lines, you affect the form on the other lines. So that took a while to actually get right. Alright, now let's just throw out some just random geometry. And then we could tighten it up after. And then from here, we'll start widening it. Alright, and we go all the way back to touch there. So that will give us a rough swan neck. Now I need to start adding some dimensions to it. It is, honestly it is. I've been working in Fusion for a number of years and I'm still scratching the surface. It's a pain in the ass. It's a hard program. I think I need to get my blade sketch and put my blade sketch in so I could truly position this thing properly. But that's what it's kind of going to look like. With a bottom plate to reinforce everything. I hate how it does this dark thing after a while. So we have our bottom plate, we have our top plate, and then I just need to work on the wing. And but that's a rough design right there. And then all I gotta do is just mirror parts on the other side. Or should I just make this vertical? I do kind of like the geometry of it just getting narrow. I guess the hard edge isn't bad. Or throw an extra point in there. I guess like that. And then skeletonize it. Yeah, I need to add some dimension to this. So I don't think I want to stock everything because I can't stock the blade. I could basically give you a parts list of where you could get things, and we could go ahead from the parts list and get like probably the milled CNC part and the laser cut, because I know through Sand Cut Sand we could just have a shared marketplace and you could buy the design and Sand Cut Sand will drop ship it to you. So that kind of stuff. Yeah, I wanted to look, you know, not rounded. It'll have a little radius on the edge, but I want it to look very mechanical. What I need to do is work on the blade and work on 0 degree, but I don't have that at hand, so I think that will be for the next video. Yeah, I need to make that parallel. Yeah, something like that. But this will kind of swing out like that. Yeah, like that. Something like that. It'll be, I think when it's all said and done, it'll be rewarding, but it's been a pain in the ass. But yeah, I think that'll be it for now. For this stream. That's gonna be cool. Oh, this is actually not in the right place. So, edit. That's actually snapped out of. That actually snapped out of. Oh. You. Why did I do that last point like that? I have to go back a lot. There you go. And this should intersect. I mean, it intersected on the other side. Why are you being a butt here? Okay, so to get that, we should be able to do that. And then that should line it up. Bro. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got the green dot. Perfect. Now that's in line. But it snapped to the bottom instead of the top. What the flip? What the freaking flip? Okay, so let's just do this from the bottom. Okay, now that should snap. No, it snapped to the bottom again. I'm gonna hide the wing. Go to the left. Goodness. Hide wing. Side view. I see what happened. It's odd, yeah, but no. I want a flat. Let's just drag it out. So it's on a flat plane. Yep. And this will come down here. Yep. Let's just do that. Now that's in line. Yep. It's going through. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Giraffe neck. that's awesome. Something like that. That is a lot of overhang though, man. That'll be a lot of strain though. There we go. Yeah. That way it's not a huge swing back, you know, and the wing isn't hanging. It's close, and it could support the downforce and everything. Yeah, I think I like this. Something like that instead. So it'll work with the pylons. Something like that. Yeah, I'll have to play around with it and see what I could figure out. Just mess with it some. something. I don't know. I'm just throwing random shapes out there right now. And then it'll be skeletonized. Well, I don't want you to be collinear. Either you. I don't want you to be tangent. There we go. Just trying to constrain the geometry on me. It's all gonna be very weird. Yeah, so that's gonna be 5mm thick sheet metal, aluminum, and like so. This is two stacked together. So it's gonna be that thick. Ruler for scale. There's gonna be two pylons like this, that thick going up. Yeah, I was thinking about doing logos and stuff like that and putting some stuff in there, just gonna cut out. That'd be cool. But no, I think that'll be kind of sick. I need to scan the actual wing I have because I have a different wing blade that this one is. So I gotta scan that, and I gotta design this up and draw out this shape so I could put it into the model and I'll locate it where I need it to be. So it's still a lot of work, but we get in there. We are getting there. Get the cellophane off. Yeah, so. Let me actually, how does the camera do? I dusted off my old vlogging camera and got the little cam link for it. I think it does look much better than my old conference camera. Yeah. I don't think I can adjust the shape anymore until I actually figure out my blade and the attachment point. I mean, no, because that's more of a time attack kind of thing where you're unlimited, right? Time attack is really cool because you could do crazy aero, crazy whatever. You're just doing time. You're just going for base time. Right now I'm HBDE, just doing around the track on my own time. I'm not fighting anybody else, so I'm just doing my own personal best. And then I might go into time trials, TT. Time trials, you competing against everybody within that group, but you have a governing set of rules, and every modifications. So like let's say you have 50 points, and every modification will either subtract or add to a total of 50 points. So your mods, your weight, your power, and stuff like that, all that plays within that 50 points. Your aero and stuff like that. So it's a balancing act. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, it's a balancing act. Yeah. But I think that's it. I have to call it for the stream. We are getting closer. I have my top plate design, bottom plate locked in. That bottom pad is pretty cool looking. I like the shape. The bottom plate is a very big bottom plate that should spread the load. Yeah. Yeah. Much excite, guys. Much excite. Well, until next time, thank you very much for stopping by and say hello. I will. It's busy the next couple of days, so I will try to send out advance notice on when the next stream will be. But until next time, guys, thank you for